What is up, everybody? I am George Mossey. This is my co-host Cherona. So this is the George Mossey Show. We watched MILF Manor. You should have too, but if you didn't, we're going to talk about it. So we're on episode 4, and we're watching Stephanie and Ryan, who seem to be vibing really well. So I don't know about Stephanie, right? So Stephanie is kind of like the female version of Jose. So like
Mhm.
Stephanie is vibing with like Ryan and Gabriel, and Stephanie is telling Ryan that Gabriel is just a friend. I feel like that's not the case because we watched Gabriel sleep in Stephanie's bed. And I'm like, if he's not your type and you think that he's just on the friend level, why are you sleeping together and you're leading him on? Is Stephanie like the type of person who just doesn't like to cause confrontation? Because she's like, well, I don't want to make anybody feel upset or unhappy, but you can't really be vibing with two guys at the same time. I mean, you can, but like you can tell that it's bothering them both. They're both super intimidated at the idea that she's vibing with two people at the same time. And I think Ryan wants it to be, if you are interested in Gabriel, to tell him so he can move on and try to build a connection with someone else. I think that's exactly how he feels. But
Mhm.
Stephanie looks at it like, well, I like the attention from both of them. And I kind of feel like, why should I ruin anything? Because I don't need to commit to anyone at this point. So let's talk about this thing that Ryan did. He placed a bet and he's like, wake up at 5 a.m. with me, which she's not a morning person. And if she didn't, she couldn't spend any time with Gabriel for 24 hours. Now, a lot of people online are saying this is controlling and manipulative. So
Mhm.
how do you feel about that? Because she has the right to spend time with anyone. This is a dating show. She has the right to spend time with anyone there, and he wants to limit her time with other people there. How do you feel about that?
I hated that. I thought that that was really weird. I mean, Ryan, come on. You're 30 years old. You know better than to do something like that. I get it. He's very intimidated and he really likes her and he wants I feel like he's ready to take the next step with her. But she's like in limbo between like him and Gabriel and I feel like she's really leading them both on, which like you
Mhm.
said, she can. It's a dating show. But she needs to be honest with both of them. If she's really vibing with Gabriel, she needs to tell Ryan because Ryan's at the point where like he's like, okay, like, are we gonna do this or not? Which I understand, but he could have gone about it a different way. And the fact that she was laying on the hammock with Gabriel and she's like, Ryan, come over here. Like, why are you being messy? I didn't like
Yeah.
that. That was weird. Honestly, like no guy is going to be okay with that. I mean, she should just tell Ryan that she wants to be with both of them because obviously she let Gabriel sleep in her bed. I would not have my guy friend cuddling me in bed and be like, turn your alarm off. Don't do that. And then listen to them. If I wanted to go do something, just do whatever you want. I feel like she's very influenced by both of them. And like
Yeah.
she said, she doesn't want to hurt either of them, but she needs to figure it out. Like people are starting to kind of couple up a little bit.
Well, yeah, they've been there for a while. People are building connections, and that kind of brings us to the challenge this week. It was the speed dating challenge, and it was for people who have not been building connections and not been vibing to spend time with each other. And this was a really interesting exercise because the people who aren't vibing together, these speed dating moments were super awkward.
Oh yeah.
They made everyone cringe, and Charlene really showed us a different side of her because we saw her on a date with Jose and they didn't seem to vibe at all. And she was almost boring. Charlene was like out of control. She was just like, let's talk about what you do in bed. What do you got going on? Are you going to be able to do this? And it was just like, whoa. Even the guys, they were like, I feel really uncomfortable. And that's kind
Mhm.
of the point of being there to feel a little uncomfortable and get to know people. But even she took it a bit too far. And I feel like it made everything super awkward. And we were watching Ricky during the speed dating challenge, and Ricky refused to open up. And even Kelly said it because Kelly was like, I want to get to know you better. I don't know anything about you. I don't know what's going on in your life. I want to know if we have a connection. And he was just like, I don't speak unless I'm spoken to. He even went as far to say, I'm not a music person. Have you ever met a person who doesn't listen to music?
I don't trust anyone that doesn't listen to music. I thought that was extremely weird. When he said that, I was like, oh hell no, he's gotta go. He's gotta go. Like, what do you do? Do you sit in your house in silence? Do you sit in your car in silence? You can't trust people like that. You cannot trust someone that doesn't like music. I'm sorry.
All right, so we were watching April W ask Joey questions, and we found out that Joey has never dated an older woman. So he was being asked, like, how do you feel about dating older women? What can you give older women? And also Paula also was into this conversation with Joey as well. And Joey is very intimidated by the older women. He doesn't know how to
Mhm.
answer the questions. And I'm not sure if Joey is capable of dating an older woman. He's very immature. And I don't want to say like immature, like Gabriel immature, But like I feel like he's just not in the mindset, and he's like, oh, I like women in their 50s and 60s. But then when they asked him like the deep question, like, well, how many older women have you dated? He's like, well, none. And then when they ask like, well, what can you do to show us who you are and show us that you're serious? And he's like, I don't have an answer for that. And it's just like, I don't know if he's ready for what he's getting into, because these women are very seasoned in love and relationships and all of that, and they know what they want. So it's like you would have to find a woman who's willing to teach you, because if she's not willing to teach you, I don't know how far they can really go with Joey.
Oh yeah, that was something. I mean, bless his heart. He wants to date older women, but I think it's like you said, he's just very innocent. He's very
Hmm.
innocent in how he comes off and portrays himself, and he doesn't really understand or know how to navigate it. I don't even has he even really dated a lot of girls his own age? It doesn't seem like he's really dated at all.
Yeah, he said that I think to Kelly. He was like, I don't have as much experience,
Mhm.
with you, obviously, but he said that I am open to things. So I don't know where he stands with this. I think he talks a bigger game that he can keep, because while he sweet talks to girls, he tries to get them like to go out with him and do the dates. I don't know how much of it he can back up. I kind of feel like he's doing what he can to get their attention, but then once he gets their attention, he doesn't know what to do with it.
Yes, he gets very shy and very awkward. I think he needs a lot of help if he's gonna date one of these women. Because, like you said, like they're experienced, they know what they're doing, they know what they want. They don't
They don't
want
have they don't have time to waste. They're not
no,
wasting time.
no, exactly. Like he needs to come on, get it together, or go date some girl your own age, and then come back to this later on.
Yeah. So to no surprise, Paula and Jose, they won the competition. I didn't realize that it was a competition until they won. Because I was
Yeah,
like, wait, how did they win? Was there like a scoring system? But obviously everyone in the house seems to be drawn to Paula and Jose. And I saw a tweet last night that caught my attention. They were like, this show shouldn't be called MILF Manor. It should be called The Bachelor featuring Jose. Because Jose
yeah,
is basically telling every woman in the house how beautiful she is and how they have a connection. I don't have a problem with that, but I need to know that he's actually being honest and not just sweet talking these ladies, because you can't have a connection and think everyone is beautiful unless he's
no,
just one of those like super smooth players that has like 15 different women in his phone that he's talking to at the same time. Like, how do you manage all of those connections at once? And that's kind of like what he's doing. He's never actually committed to one woman. He's never even given anyone a clear answer. When people ask him who he's feeling, he always says different women. He's always
mhm,
talking to different women. And every time he's in front of one, that's the only woman he acts like he's talking to. And then the very next episode, there's two additional women. So I don't
yeah.
know what's going on with Jose, and I don't think anyone does.
I really think he's one of those guys that really loves attention. He knows he's good looking and he knows all these women like him and he's leading them all on. And I don't really love that at all. I really don't. Because as a woman, especially like in you're around all these other women and you have this guy that makes you feel like, the world revolves around you and no one else is around when he's looking at you. But then he's doing it to everyone else.
I watch it. It's like he has the same game. He
Hmm.
compliments them. He says how amazing they are and how he's glad they're having this time together and they're building this connection. And I'm like, bro, you use the same lines on all these women. And it's like, I get it. You're good looking and you have the accent, and I get it, but it's like you have to be real. You can't just lead people on. These women are looking for real relationships. They want to be in a relationship. This isn't a booty call show. Like, they want a relationship. So I feel like he's just leading everyone on. And all the women, Shannon was talking to people about it and how much she likes him, and all these people like him, but does he like any of them back? Like, that's what I'm wondering, because it's like, why should they waste their time on him if there's never an opportunity for a connection to be built? Because he's never once said or tried to build one single connection with just one woman. He's like trying to spread his way around the whole house. And at the end, you only can pick one person.
Yep. Yeah, I think that he really needs to figure it out. He either needs to stop telling every girl that he likes them, or he needs to just, I don't know, he needs to pick one. Like, it's so confusing. Like, you're literally like, he's looking stupid. He's looking like a player. All the women are falling for him. And like, come on, ladies, there's so many more people there. This guy, if that's how he's gonna be now, how do you think he's gonna be in a relationship? I'm sorry.
Exactly. So to no surprise, April W and Ricky scored the lowest, but we kind of watched that with Ricky's shut down during the actual dating, speed dating. So I kind of feel like he kind of dug the grave there. But it also had to do with them not participating in the activities that everyone else was doing. They were kind of always in their room and they weren't really open to build a connection with people. So
Hmm.
they kind of lost the competition and had to get sent home. Everyone was shocked, but no one was surprised. Everyone was like, well, this sucks. I'm shocked that people have to go home. But in the end, Kelly was like, not surprised that they have to go home. They weren't actually here to get to know anyone. They're like, every time anyone tried to get to know them, they shut down, they closed off. So I'm really interested in knowing what the different twist is, because we know the first twist, their sons are there, but there's another
Yeah.
twist. So people are going home now, which is new.
Hmm.
And now two additional people were entering the house, and we have literally no clue who these people are. So I want to know who they are, what the importance is of them being there, because I was thinking maybe they were a dating or relationship coach to maybe help people get on the right track. But you think it might be something else.
I think that they're gonna kick people off and bring in new contestants to like spice it up. I mean, the show's crazy. You never know where it's gonna go. So that's my theory. I think that it's new people to shake it up a little bit. I would be shocked if it wasn't, but we'll see next week.
Right before the
Hmm.
show ended, we watched a scene with Kelly and Billy. They took things to the next level and they tried to use the hot tub in a different room away from Billy's mom, Stephanie, and it was too cold. So they ended up going back into Billy's room and using that hot tub. And Kelly, I'm glad that you didn't die when you fell into that hot tub. I was super worried when I saw you like
Same.
diving. I was like, "Oh my god, save Kelly. She's going under. She's okay. Kelly is okay." But Stephanie is not having it. Stephanie is literally cock blocking her son. And we found out later that Billy thought that the connection was a lot stronger until they were in bed together. And he said that he had to get out of bed with her because she was hiccuping and snoring. And he actually had to crawl in bed with his mom and hide from the monster. That was really mean. Billy, that was mean.
Yes.
Calling her a monster was super mean. I feel like lots of people snore, lots of people hiccup. Like, let's not be harsh, right?
Yeah. That was very immature of him to say. I get it because being around people that snore is terrible.
Mhm.
But I mean, you don't have to be mean about it. You can just, I don't know, roll her on her side or something. Or, yeah, I don't know. If you're going to want to be with this person, you're going to have to deal with what they come with. And if she snores, you're going to have to deal with her snoring. So just a little reality check. But yeah, I
Yeah,
don't know.
I feel
That,
that.
that was mean. I didn't like when he said that.
I didn't
And
either.
I also didn't like that, Stephanie's cock blocking, but then she's got Gabriel in her bed.
Right,
Okay.
that's kind of hypocritical because
Yeah.
she's like, well, no, she's not right for my son and she's not
Mhm.
corrupting my son. What are you doing exactly to Gabriel and Ryan? Because they both genuinely like you a lot. Like their feelings are building every single minute. And it's
Mhm.
like, what exactly are you doing? Are you corrupting them, Stephanie? Because they want you all to themselves. Ryan literally tried to make a bet to separate you from any other man so he can build that relationship with you. So I feel like she's being a little hypocritical. Like, Stephanie, you got to be open and honest, and you can't say one thing and do another. I want these people to find love. See, this is why I stopped watching love shows, because I really want people to fall in love. And a lot of people are
Yeah.
just on the show for other reasons. And I'm like, no, you need to fall in love, and somebody has to get married at the end of the show.
Yeah, exactly. I'm right there with you.
All right, so we're gonna be watching episode 5 in 2 weeks because unfortunately the Super Bowl is on next week, so we will not be getting any MILF Manor or 90 Day Fiance the other way. So we will be watching in 2 weeks, and we will see exactly who these two people are that entered the villa, and they have to explain to us who they are, why they're there, and what the hell is going on. Remember last week I was like, "What the hell is going on?" I'm still saying it, guys. Explain it to us. We have no clue what's going on. All right, guys, I'm George Mossey. Make sure you follow me on all social media platforms at George Mossey, georgemossey.com, and anywhere you get your podcast. And you have to follow Cherona too. Her links are right here at the bottom. We will talk to all of you really soon, 2 weeks from now for this show, but other shows really soon.